Kissing scenes are pretty common in movies, if not expected. Audiences love seeing their favorite gorgeous stars lock lips, creating romantic tension and excitement on screen. And usually it happens without too much fuss. But there have been some instances where an actor or actress doesn't want to share an on-screen kiss with their co-stars. Sometimes it's for religious reasons, sometimes it's because they don't trust the past of that actor's partying ways, and sometimes it's literally because the other person has a nasty cold. In this video, we're taking a look at some actors and actresses who have opted out of lip-locking on set. Join Factsverse as we present why he refused to kiss his beautiful co-star. Kirk Cameron. Kirk Cameron, primarily known for his role in the television series Growing Pains, has been open about his decision not to engage in on-screen kissing scenes with anyone other than his wife. He attributes the choice to his personal values and commitment to his marriage. In the movie Fireproof, released in 2008, Kirk plays the character Caleb Holt, a firefighter who faces challenges in his marriage. As part of the storyline, there's a pivotal scene where Caleb and his on-screen wife, Catherine, played by actress Erin Bethea, share a significant and emotionally charged kiss. As an actor, Kirk recognized the kiss was a crucial part of the narrative, but he'd made a promise not to kiss anyone but his wife. So, the crew of the movie came up with an alternate idea. They had Kirk's wife come onto set and act as a body double for Erin. They then shot the moment in silhouette so that you could see the two kissing, but you couldn't really make out who was in the shot. So that way, Kirk was able to only kiss his wife, and the movie was still able to somewhat show the two stars kissing. When talking about that switcheroo, Kirk reiterated he has a personal commitment to not kiss anyone but his wife. He added, quote, "So when I'm kissing my wife, we're actually husband and wife honoring marriage behind the scenes." Thandiwe Newton. Thandiwe Newton, known for her diverse and compelling performances in films like Crash and Beloved, has demonstrated her versatility throughout her career. In 2008's Rock'n'Rolla, she played Stella, a strong-willed accountant entangled in a web of criminal activities. She played opposite Gerard Butler, playing the character 1-2. The chemistry between Newton and Butler's characters was vital to the plot, and their on-screen kiss would serve to heighten the tension and emotional connection. Then came the day that Newton and Butler were supposed to film their passionate kissing scene. But even the best laid plans can go awry if one person in a scene gets a horrible cold. Of course, in the era of COVID, it wouldn't seem strange at all for someone to steer clear of set or others on set if they had a cold. But back then, the industry had a grin-and-bear-it attitude when it came to people bringing their colds with them to work. As such, Butler showed up on the day, sick as a dog, but ready to work. It just so happened that work on that day involved him swapping spit with his co-star Newton. Newton wasn't having it, and was not only grossed out by Butler's appearance, but didn't want to catch the cold he had, which all seems reasonable. She laughed it off later, saying that director Guy Ritchie was forced to improvise with the way the scene was shot. Said Newton, quote, "I don't know how he coped with those problems, but it ended up being one of the most brilliant scenes." Will Smith. In the 1993 film 6 Degrees of Separation, Will Smith delivered a critically acclaimed performance showcasing his versatility as an actor. One particular aspect of the film that garnered attention was Smith's decision not to engage in an on-screen kissing scene with co-star Anthony Michael Hall. Smith portrayed the character of Paul, a charming and enigmatic young man who weaves an intricate web of deception. The film explores themes of identity, class, and human connection, and during one pivotal scene, Paul engages in a passionate moment with Hall's character, resulting in a close embrace but stopping short of a full-on kiss. Smith's decision to omit the kiss was influenced by his concerns about the potential impact on his burgeoning career. At the time, he was primarily known for his role on the popular show The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and he wanted to ensure that his on-screen persona aligned with his public image. He also told The Independent that he had sought advice from fellow acting legend Denzel Washington. Denzel reportedly said to Will, "Don't be kissing no man." Smith took this advice to heart, and the scene was shot from behind Smith so it would look like a kiss was happening, despite the two not kissing. But as Smith's career progressed and he got more experience as an actor, he began to question his decision to forego the on-screen kiss. In subsequent interviews, he has expressed regret, acknowledging that the omission of the moment may have detracted from the authenticity and emotional depth of the film. Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis had a memorable arc on the classic sitcom Friends, where he played the father of a girl Ross was dating. His character, Paul Stevens, also had a romantic relationship with Rachel, played by Jennifer Aniston. However, despite the fact that Aniston was arguably one of the most adored actresses of the time, Willis didn't want to kiss her. But it had very little to do with Jennifer. It was much more about one of Bruce's close friends. In 1995, Bruce had filmed the movie 12 Monkeys opposite Brad Pitt. They bonded while on set and had remained close. And at the time, Pitt was married to none other than Jennifer Aniston. So as a courtesy to his buddy, Willis didn't want to lock lips with his girlfriend. This was in spite of the fact that it was only a stage kiss and there was no impression he'd be trying to hit on her in real life. But Willis felt it would be a nice move to abstain from the kiss. According to Willis, the two shot the scene at an angle where you couldn't actually tell if they were making out. And he said they didn't. He claimed it was only the illusion of a kiss, and he actually just kissed her on the cheek. Willis told Rolling Stone he felt it just wouldn't have been appropriate to kiss his friend's wife, before adding that he did agree Aniston was a total babe. Lindsay Lohan. Sometimes an actor's past can come back to haunt them, but it doesn't often happen on set. However, when Charlie Sheen was filming the movie Scary Movie 5, he found out that his, let's just say, partying ways meant he was less appealing for his co-star to smooch. Lindsay Lohan was supposed to kiss Sheen 3 times during one scene. But apparently, she got cold feet based on Sheen's notoriety as a playboy and a frequenter of ladies of the night. So she told the producers she wasn't gonna kiss him. Afraid she'd walk off the movie, the producers agreed to use a body double for her. However, Lohan apparently got to know Charlie better over the course of the shoot and since then, and she now feels bad about the move. According to the Daily Mail, she at one point was going to reach out to Sheen and say she was sorry for the whole situation. But at that point, her phone suddenly broke and she lost his number. Of course, it probably wouldn't have been that hard to track down Charlie if she really wanted to, but hey, it's the thought that counts. Denzel Washington. While Denzel has been in his fair share of romantic movie scenes, there was a time in 1993 when he refused to lock lips with his co-star. And even more surprisingly, his co-star was the legendary talent Julia Roberts. The film was Pelican Brief, a thriller based on the John Grisham novel. But apparently it had nothing to do with which star was opposite him, but rather their race. Washington later talked about how he was motivated by the fact that too often black women are not portrayed on screen as objects of desire. And he was also aware that he had a big fan base of black women. So in an effort to not alienate that demographic, he chose not to be seen on screen kissing a white woman. He also said he'd learned this the hard way during test screenings of his movie The Mighty Quinn a few years earlier. In those screenings, the sight of him kissing his white co-star, Mimi Rogers, evoked boos from the black women in attendance. Denzel had those scenes scrapped from The Mighty Quinn before it was released, and he made sure to get the scenes with him kissing Julia Roberts taken out before filming even began for The Pelican Brief. Julia Roberts, however, was looking forward to the kissing scenes. Said Julia, quote, "Don't I have a pulse? Of course I wanted to kiss Denzel. It was his idea to take the damn scenes out." Now it's time to hear from you. Do you know of any other stars who refused an on-screen kiss? Let us know in the comments section below.